What went wrong? Where did we lose ourselves? If we know that we are an aspect of the divine, that we are consciousness, that we are undamageable, that we are connected to a piece, we are inseparable from divine consciousness, that divine consciousness is within us and that we're connected to it. And if we know that we are eternal beings and that we are safe and that we cannot be harmed in any true or persistent way, then what went wrong? What happened? Okay, so let's start to understand how we got lost. And it is literally a case of getting lost. So we know that we are awareness. You are the awareness of your thoughts. You are the awareness within your body. You're the awareness of your body. You're the awareness of your emotions, of your life experiences, of everything that comes and goes. Where is your awareness at any given time? That's the issue. Your awareness is almost always on one thing, and you have forgotten that that's your awareness. That is literally under your control. You can put it where you want. That's the issue. So here's what happened. You are divine consciousness, eternal, unblemishable, unhurtable, connected to source, and you came to this world, you got yourself a body, and you were given a mind to help to navigate and understand the world. So the mind is just doing its job. The mind says, oh, look, body. You know, as a baby, you say, oh, look, feet, hands, fingers. Okay. Walking. Okay. I'm getting the hang of it. And you explore your physical body. You explore the room. You explore, oh, stairs. Oh, crib, you know, and you just explore. Your mind is absorbing information, analyzing, coming to conclusions. And your awareness, the awareness that you are, is listening to this input from the mind and, you know, is experiencing the body and all of that. So the mind will come to like a little scientist residing within your system. It says, oh, if you touch that, it hurts. If you walk this way, you fall. And the mind is giving you constant feedback. It's its job. And your awareness. And you go, okay, I will not touch that again. No problem. But most of the time, you're still just awareness. And you're still okay. And you're at peace. And you're joyful. And you're safe. There is the awareness that you are goes out, listens to what the mind has to say, and comes back to a home of being, a home where everything is still and where you are safe. The awareness that you are goes out, experiences the body, walking, talking, sunlight, whatever, and then comes home to just stillness, just being. No need to do anything more than be. You are safe and you are well. And then life continues and the mind starts to continue to analyze stuff. And you, the awareness that you are, continues to pay attention to the conclusions that your mind is coming to. So the mind now starts to analyze more complex stuff. It says, well, you know, these are the people you live with. These are your parents. These are your siblings. That one's friendly. If you cry, that one will give you candy. If you are bad, that one's going to yell at you. So yeah, let's learn how to navigate those guys. And it develops an understanding of mine, my toys, my food, my mom. It gets a sense of the people and your role in there and how things interact. And at this point, awareness is paying more, and the awareness that you are, your awareness is paying more and more attention to the mind, but you're still primarily okay. You're still primarily safe. You can still return to that home within you every now and then. And you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Lots of information from the mind. Whew, gotta listen to a lot of stuff, but it's okay. It's okay. I know that, this inner base is where I belong, and it's what I actually am. But then the mind starts to say, hey, this is mine, not yours. And starts to fight with siblings and friends. The mind starts to worry. It says, supposed to get food now, but I'm not getting food. I fear that hunger may occur. Perhaps the body will perish. Perhaps food will never arrive. And the mind starts to think fear. It starts to think possessiveness. It starts to think scarcity. It starts to think rivalry. And then it starts to become aware of its position in society. It says, I am not as popular as that one. I am not as liked as that one. I'm not as strong as this one. I'm not getting as much attention as that one is. This person likes me. This person doesn't like me. And as you go through the ages, 2 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old as a teenager, now you're like, oh, this is how I dress. This is how they dress. This is who I like. This is who likes me. That guy does not like me. I don't know why. And that girl doesn't like me, but I don't like her. And the mind is observing the life that is being lived. There's nothing wrong here. The problem is that you, the awareness that you are, is more and more and more paying attention to the mind, to what the mind says, what the mind interprets, what the mind remembers, what the mind brings to your memory. The analysis, the predictions, the core memories, the warnings. Again, not a dysfunction. None of this is a dysfunction. It's the way it's supposed to work. But by the time you're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you may have forgotten that you are watching this thing called the mind, that you are listening to this thing called the thought stream. And you may have forgotten that you go out and you experience and observe and taste life. And then you come back home to your base, to your center, where you are well, where you are safe. You're forgetting that. You're shifting where you're based. You're shifting what you pay attention to. And the mind, it has its directives, and its directives is to caution you, to warn you of possible dangers. So when anything happens, you fall and bump your knee, or you're not treated right, or you're betrayed, or you're physically hurt, or you're yelled at, or whatever happens that creates a pain to the body or an emotional reaction that is intense, the mind says, whoa, we will not be letting that happen again. And the mind starts to, it declares, the mind jumps to these declarations, these conclusions, and it says, I am vulnerable. I got hurt. I could get hurt again. Oh, when I ran over there, I fell. So if I run over there again, I'm at risk of falling. When I was around this person, I was hurt. Maybe being around people that gets you hurt. When I was in this situation, I was helpless. Maybe I am helpless. So the mind starts to perceive itself based on what it's seeing and interpreting. It means well, it's just trying to do its job. And it is, at the end of the day, a child, an inexperienced child. And it's just interpreting the data in front of it as best as it can. And it's coming to a conclusion. I and the rest of the world, I I'm separate from the rest of the world. The rest of the world is out to get me. I am vulnerable to the rest of the world. I can be hurt. There's a high likelihood that I can be hurt. I am afraid of being hurt. And what happened to me in the past was so horrible that I didn't know what to do with it. So I took it and I buried it and I carry it. And every now and then I can feel it and it hurts and it hurts. So the mind has started to perceive itself when the mind says I. Before, when you were just awareness, when you said I, you just said I am. I am. And now when the mind has really gotten developed and gotten a ton of information, sensory input, and starting to figure out the world, your mind starts to say, I am separate, vulnerable. I am carrying pain from all the things that happened to I. And I am afraid of all the things that could happen to I. I am something that needs to be protected. I need to prevent things from happening, and I will do it. So the mind starts to think that it is the source, that you are something that needs protecting, and that it is the source of that protection. And here's the thing. The mind is a processing tool that you carry in your tool belt. You are the awareness of that mind. But at this point, 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, you have been paying attention to the mind for so long that you now forget that you are paying attention to the mind, that you are the awareness paying attention to the mind. So you start to believe, oh, yes. First of all, you start to, what the mind says, you start to say, well, I am saying this. I have decided this. You forgot that the mind is the AI that works for you. And then you start to believe what I is saying. I am scared, I am vulnerable, and I am my source of safety. I will use strategy, effort, intelligence, cunning, fear, evasiveness, or whatever approaches I need to use in order for I to keep I safe. You have forgotten that you are awareness, and you have forgotten that there's a place, a base inside of you where there is stillness, where everything is well, where you can perceive your wellness, where you can perceive the part of your consciousness that is still divine, that is still not divine, that is still that is still in a non-physical world, that is still in the world of spirit. You can the part of you that is connected to the source of everything. You can feel that here at the center of your being, and you can feel peace, and you can feel safety, and your safe space is inside you. You used to know that, and now you don't. Now your safety relies on your ability to protect yourself. But here's the little catch-22 though. The world you have determined, the mind, which you now think is you, has determined that you are vulnerable, very vulnerable, and that the world is bad, very bad. And now you are the only thing that can possibly protect you from the vulnerable, protect the vulnerable you from the very bad world. And it is such a huge and daunting task, and you don't believe you can do it. You know you can't do it. You're like, I can never protect myself from every bad guy. I can never overpower everybody who wants to attack me. I can never outsmart everybody who's trying to con me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And now it can be said in two ways. You now believe a wrong perception of yourself, and your role in protecting yourself, or you have forgotten the true perception of yourself and the true source of your safety and sense of well-being. Whichever way you want to say it, it's two sides of the same coin. This is what went wrong.